So I'm Akash Mukherjee, a former student of Acharya Bangalore Business School from the batch of 20 to 24. Today's world, the competition is arising day by day. So to be the best one out in the field, you need to have knowledge in all of the aspects. Like if you have to know about the operations, if you know about the finance, if you know about the marketing, then it becomes much more easier for you. You need to follow the mentors over there because the training which they are providing to us, the way they are preparing us in such a way so that we will be corporate ready outside the campus.
Hi, I welcome you to Changemakers for ABBS podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me today.
So before we get into the actual conversation, would you mind letting us know a bit about yourself, your journey so far, and also the work that you do?
Sure. So I'm Akash Mukherjee, a former student of Acharya Bangalore Business School from the batch of 20 to 24. So I started MBA with preference in finance and marketing, as finance was my major and marketing I took a minor. I did one or two internships from the ABBS college only. And also, firstly, I started working on no brokerhood for 7.5 to 8 months. I worked over there. Then later on, I joined Toyota Kirloskar Motor. Both were campus placements only, which I did. And currently, I'm working in Toyota at warehouse operations.
Right. So how has the journey evolved from Acharya Bangalore B School to Toyota Kirloskar Motor?
So it was a great journey. It was a very pleasant journey, I would say. Basically, my intentions, if I go before MBA, my schooling and my undergraduate, I have pursued based on finance only. So similarly, here also, I would have pursued with finance itself, which I did. And apart from that, from minor, I have taken marketing. But in no broker road, when I joined, there was a customer relationship role which I was working for. So a bit of finance and also a bit of marketing was involved over there. But when I joined TK, my job role was specifically management training. So I was not completely sure on what will be the specific job role they are providing me. So after joining, based on their requirement as well, they put me into parts strategy and operations. So I continued working in parts strategy and operations. Later this year, they moved from parts strategy, they moved me to warehouse operations. So currently, I'm working in one of the TKM's depot PIC. As a PIC over there, I look after all the operations over there as a depot head in Ahmedabad. So this was a brief journey of
Right. You made a shift in your career from finance and marketing to operations. So what sparked this shift?
In Spark point of view, I would say the opportunity which I got at that time. Because as per the current situation, if you see, the job market is very competitive. Being the only one person to get a job at TKM from our campus, as many people applied, I didn't want to take any further chance to switch or change forward. So I started working in TKM as a good brand reputation because Toyota already they have a good brand reputation. And also there's one more policy in Toyota, like they won't keep you in one job role for a longer period of time. So there are chance you can be switched to other departments as well. So later, within a year or a year or two, if I get any further chance, definitely I will like to switch to finance or to marketing. For that case, also I just thought, okay, why not give a chance at operations? Because it is operations also a vast scope. So it's a very good, it's a great session for me as well for learning operations and the other aspects as well.
Even I also believe like to be in sales and marketing, everyone has to be in operations first. They need to understand the entire flow of work before getting into sales and marketing.
So the backend, if you are good and if you're wisely aware of the backend work, then you are okay to go further for operations, for marketing as well. It will be easier for understanding.
So how did ABBS prepare you for the real corporate world?
So they did prepare not only for me but for other students as well, because they had interactive sessions over there. They used to call external people from outside who used to come and train all the students for a week. They did prepare us how to be prepared in terms of your dressing, in terms of your body language, in terms of your communication, introduction, how you're supposed to speak in an interview. and what are the do's and don'ts you should be doing and you shouldn't be doing in an interview. So there are several ways they prepared us in that way. And keeping all those things in mind, I prepared myself, started working on myself, whatever the pros and cons I have on me. I benefited sessions organized from ABBS. So in that way, I kept that in mind and I went for the interview. Though I won't say that I got all the interview cleared, which they were given. I have also got rejected from certain interviews as well, but I took it as a learning, whatever the mistakes I have made in that interview. And then finally, I gave the DKM for the Toyota. That was the last interview because after that, they would have, they said that you already got placed, so I want people to sit further for the interviews as well. So, yeah.
So can you share a defining moment at ABBS that played a very vital role in your career and life?
So there was one during our placement sessions. There was one of the company they came for at that time. So I was on their last round. I was there for that company, and my friends and some of my friends who are aware of me, even my teachers as well. So they had a hope that since I went till the last of the interview round, I will crack the interview. I had that confidence in me. This was the earlier time, like before. This was the only first or second interview which I was giving at that time. So maybe I would say I was a bit more confident enough that yeah, I'll be able to crack it because I came to the final rounds. I'll be cracking, but it didn't happen actually. I got rejected the last round of the interview, and other two people they got selected over there. So that was a change point for me, though it was very sad. So because I really wanted to get selected at that interview. So from that time, my teachers, my faculty members, they knew for that fact. I mentioned them as well. After that, it completely changed the graph which I was following for myself. Like I started working on myself, started working on communication, body language, whatever minor to minor mistakes whichever I've made in that interview. I started working on each and everything, and I started preparing myself in such a way that finally I could crack a better company. That was basically one of our moment which was put me down for some time.
So what is the toughest challenge in managing warehouse operations?
So the toughest challenge I would say in managing the floor level people who are working in the operation, because under me there are some of the team leaders and group leaders who are reporting to me in that way, and there are some floor members working on the warehouse picking and collecting other stuff. They're directly on the floor, so it is very difficult to train them because in that case what happens, the attrition rate is very high because floor level workers they won't work for a longer period of time. Usually they will come, they'll work for a month or two, and again they will change their to a different company. They will go again, new worker will come. So to get them trained and to avoid the operation mistakes, that is one of a challenge to manage in that case. Yeah.
Since you have made a shift from finance and marketing to operations, so you will be the right person to understand how important is cross-functional skills in today's world. So how important do you think that this cross-functional skills are in today's world, and how often everyone in today's generation need to adapt it?
So in this question, I have two point of view. One, if you ask how important it is very important because in today's world, it is the competition is arising day by day. So to be the best one out in the field, you need to have knowledge in all of the aspects. Like if you have to know about the operations, if you know about the finance, if you know about the marketing, then it becomes much more easier for you or convenient for the company as well to pick you up among the others who have specialization only in one or in marketing or in finance in one or the other department. It will give you a benefit among everyone who are interviewing. And other aspect which I have, which I felt after coming to operations, that is if someone is specialized in one department and if you're working in a different department, like if my specialization is marketing and finance, I've been working in operation. So initially it becomes very difficult to adapt that scope of work because you haven't studied in the last 20-25 years, you haven't studied in that, you don't have any good knowledge in that sector to work. So it becomes a bit challenging, I would say, and it would take some time to adapt that work culture. And once you get that work culture, then it becomes easier. So these are the two POVs I have on this one.
So, what would be your advice to the students of ABBS for aiming to stand out?
My first advice I would say to follow what their mentors are saying them. You need to follow the mentors over there because the training which they are providing to us, the way they are preparing us in such a way so that we will be corporate ready outside the campus. So in that case, we need to follow that thing and keep on learning. I would say learning is the best thing. Like if you stop yourself in certain point that okay, these are the 5 things my college mentors told me, I'll be stretching to these 5 things only. I won't stretch forward for other areas. So that is one of the things you shouldn't be doing. You should try to grab interest outside the areas also. You should have more knowledge. You should be more fluent with your expression, with your work, with your communication as well. So in that case, if you go, then you will definitely stand out among others and you could have a good opportunity outside there as well, I would say. That's the thing I would say. Keep learning to be precise in one word.
So, all right, it was really an insightful conversation, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.